So the world has passed.
Okay, cool. Okay, ready?
Even then we lose.
Yeah.
But we're all so close together. This doesn't happen in the council.
No,
I don't like
if your character's stronger solidarity.
Oh yeah, Tassin's not here. Yeah.
Crimes committed against her.
Wait.
Funny number.
Wait. Evil.
Absolutely. Really need to not say people. Oh, no, yes, I saw it.
Yeah.
I've decided I hate this camera. I decided this is your council.
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Maybe that microphone just.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna start and open the meeting at 5:33. Start by acknowledgement of the traditional owners. The Curtin Student Guild pays our respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander members of our community by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which the Bentley campus is located, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, and on our Kalgoorlie campus, the Wongatha people of the Northeastern Goldfields. We acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and attribution they make to the life of this university, city, and region. Members present. Okay, members present, we have Dylan, the president, vice president, education, Hadia, Morgan, Ebony, Connie, Sylvia, Tom, Tossin, maybe coming soon, postgraduate students committee, I guess Morgan. Aster joining us online, Sada, Bonnie, and Mia, Nor, Max, Andrew, and we have Moira joining us today. Oh wait, Tossin has actually just arrived at 5:34. Hi, Tossin. No apologies. And yeah. So now move on to item 3, disclosure of any potential or perceived conflict of interest. Does anyone have anything? No. Move on to minutes of the previous meeting. There's a motion that the representation board approve the minutes of the previous meeting held on the 9th of the 4th, which I don't remember the month, 2026, as a true and accurate record of the proceedings. Does anyone have anything to say about this motion? No? Can I get a mover, please? Ebony, and a seconder. Palm, all those for, all those against. I think that's carried. Move on to matters arising from the minutes. I'm assuming nothing. No. Public question time. We actually have no public. So we'll be moving on to reports. We'll start with the president, Dylan. Report submitted.
Yep, on sort of in addition to the report, you'll have seen we launched our running on empty petition this week, which, how many are we on? What are we on? 2,323 signatures, which is quite good, I think, anyway, in a relatively short period of time, which just demonstrates the issues that I know this board and also Guild Council have been raising quite a lot. I think there's a lot of mixed sort of things in place at the moment from the university. The university's position is quite firm on the idea that they're not going to be building a lot of new parking anytime soon. That, you know, that's their position, and everyone in this country has the right to be wrong. But it's not the right move, I don't think. Anything to do with public transport, they say it's too hard to get the Public Transport Authority to change their ways, so they're just not going to do it. Expanding curtain links too expensive. Food for fines being expanded isn't about the money, but then we managed to get the Chief Operating Officer to essentially admit that it is about the money, which is why it's not being expanded or broader. But There is some movement, which I think is very good and something that we should be proud of, is the exam parking will be free for both exam weeks in semester 1 and semester 2. That was announced quite sneakily just to staff today in an email, but we'll take it on ourselves to let students know very, very soon as well. So that's really good. So previously what had happened, what was going to happen, also after we pushed quite hard last year, was there was these sort of 2 free parking weeks that they announced. They didn't really announce when they were going to be. And then there happened during the study week, which is the only time during the semester that you don't need to be on campus as a student. And it would have just been for that 1 week. Now, it would have benefited some students. Lots of students come and access the library to study and all of those kinds of things. But now what they've done is essentially gone from being 2 free parking weeks a year, there's going to be 4 free parking weeks a year, and they'll cover both of those exam periods, which is a period in time where there are lots of students on campus because there are exams. But there are not as many students on campus as there are in the regular periods, simply because, there just aren't classes. So that sort of argument of them wanting to manage demand through fees is sort of undermined there. So this will be something that will benefit a lot of students. I'm really proud of, and everyone who helped out, put posters up, go around to get signatures, promoted it to your friends, should be very, very, very proud of it. But the fight continues on other points moving forward. On the merger front, we'll be launching next week the Stop the Uni Merger campaign publicly with the Murdoch Student Guild. So that's something to look forward to. And that's really going to be focused on awareness building and making sure that people are educated on what the risks and downsides of a merger are. We're getting quite a bit of traction with our political engagement, which I think is really good. It appears that a university merger is quite controversial within the political sphere at the moment. So it's really good for us to be able to build on that and keep pushing back, and hopefully it doesn't happen and it's never announced, which I think would be the ideal position for us to be in. Happy to take any questions on broader points. I went to Kalgoorlie as well with Tarson, Morgan and Connie a few weeks ago, which was fantastic. As is normally tradition at these meetings, we'll talk about, there's been a bit of a competition, I think, over the last few times we've gone out. What we've observed is that they want to, every year they really want to one-up the year previous on the barbecue offering and the sauces at the barbecues. So this time at that barbecue, there was homemade, like freshly made chimichurri that they put on the sausages. And I think we ought to all condemn Tom's Grill the Guild today because there wasn't any chimichurri. So it's just something worthwhile thinking about. It was good. It was good chimichurri. I'm not sure about the health and safety implications of that, but that's for Guild Council, not here. Happy to take any questions.
Does anyone have any questions for Dylan on his report? Okay, we'll move on to my report. I'll take mine as read. Does anyone have any questions on my report? No? Okay, we'll move on to Vice President, Sustainability and Welfare, Morgan.
Yeah, I'll take my report as read. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions for Morgan? No. Okay, we'll go to Faculty of Business and Law.
Hi everyone, it's been a pretty productive month for me. I've continued my ongoing engagement with students in the faculty. I attended the Guild AGM and Barnyard Bash, which went quite well. I also wanted to talk about quite a productive meeting I had with Associate Professor Anna Bunn. She's the Dean of Teaching and Learning, where we spoke about a lot of things, including trying to get together an AI guide for staff in the faculty that goes a bit further than the university guide, which is interesting. We also discussed how we can try and help students who identify with a disability in FBL, and she seems to be very interested in what the Guild thinks that the faculty can be doing, which is great. So I sat down and had a meeting with Mia outside of the reporting period, but we've come together with a list of things that we think would be really great for the faculty to do. So I'll report hopefully next month about how that conversation goes. I've been involved with a few of the other broader campaigns that the Guild's been doing. I attended the Make Renting Fair event at Parliament House, which was a really great opportunity to speak with some people who've been really vital to that campaign. And they've just recently secured some great wins, which is really exciting. I've also been involved with the parking petition, which has been going really well. We had Dylan, Zobia, and myself going through the library the other night, and lots of students are really loving that we're making a move on this. And I've also been to a few of the meetings with the members of Parliament as well, which has gone well. I've also been chosen to be a member of the National Student Ombudsman Inaugural Student Collective, which is very exciting for me. I'll be sitting on this collective as a student, not as a Guild rep. However, if there's anything that other reps would like passed on directly to the Ombudsman, I'm keen to know, as this would be a great opportunity to help shape the way the Ombudsman interacts and helps students.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Zobia? I mean, sorry. I was thinking about, oh wait, Zobia's not even next. Okay, Faculty of Science and Engineering representative, Connie.
I'll take my
Name
report.
right.
Also, is mostly read. This one's a bit longer because I had the Kalgoorlie trip. I've been attending more club meetings, and I had my Guerrilla Guild. As Dylan said, the Kalgoorlie trip went really well, and I've got some notes on that. But I'll skip on to the Guerrilla Guild, where I sort of soft-launched my campaign idea for assignment timetabling with unit coordinators that have similar subjects. And it was overwhelmingly positive. Lots of students would like the idea and also saw how it benefit teachers as well, which I found very reassuring, and I'd like to continue with this idea going forward with the faculty. And yeah, other than that, club meetings went really well. I've seen that lots of students will actually go to clubs first with issues they have, rather than goes directly to the Guild. And so when I go to club meetings, they'll actually tell me, like, I've had this student come up. So that's just some word of advice. But other than that, that's all I have to say.
Connie, I'm gonna stop saying names. Okay, anyone have any questions for Connie? Can I report? Yeah.
I've been doing some thinking about how assessments can be timetabled as well. So I think it'd be really great for us to sit down and work together on ideas for that moving forward, because I think it would be really great for FBL as well. So good.
Actually, funny. Could you just give me a bit of an outline about what's happening there where assessments aren't being scheduled at the beginning of the semester?
Yeah, so my campaign is based on getting unit coordinators with that have similar subjects between students. So like students doing a main pathway in engineering, their unit coordinators should work together as best they can to map out exams, assignments, and other like portfolios. They don't overlap on the same day.
Okay.
Because I think this would help students in not having to apply for as many assessment extensions, not like last minute emailing tutors, and also help teachers because they won't receive as many of these. And I just think it helps streamline the course better. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you mean like so that we don't have an assessment due, like 4 assessments due on one day?
Yes.
So like breaking them up. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've had multiple students come up saying they've had either 4 exams in 28 hours or 3 exams in 36 hours. And this is just, it shouldn't be happening, especially if you're doing like a main course that like hundreds of other students are doing as well.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, particularly like also like I know for like psych we get like maybe 1 option a semester, but most semesters we don't get any options. So everyone who is doing all 4 units is sitting all of the same 4 units. And so it's very much like the course is organized. The one thing I was just going to flag is with the accessibility stuff that you mentioned with the clubs. I can discuss that with you further to organize a meeting on how to. Yeah, that's that.
Anyone have anything else? No, we'll move on to Faculty of Health Sciences and your report.
Alright, cool. I'll just take my report as read. Just 3 little things mentioned. Number 1, there are blood drives happening, so please go donate blood and plasma and platelets if you can. Very cool. Number 2, next week hopefully we'll be having a little pop-up free flu vaccine clinic on campus. I will let you guys know. Probably on my Instagram, maybe send out an email as well, associated with like the Upper Guild team as well about that.
Yes, it's that confirmed because it's already kind of scheduled for an hour and to go out tomorrow.
Sorry,
Is it confirmed?
it should be confirmed. Yeah, I did see. I think Dylan, you pulled down the Outlook.
No, I booked it in June accidentally in the
Oh.
calendar, so I
Okay.
got rid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be next week, Thursday and Friday from 10 till 1, but I will like double confirm it. But it should be confirmed.
Yeah, you can confirm in the morning because it's already scheduled to go on tomorrow's day now.
So that's happening. Please go get your flu shots. And I ended up meeting with a student who reached out to me about paid placements, and she said that there's actually a lot of information that some students get about it. So I thought that was really interesting because I thought the guild like keeps pushing that we're doing things with paid placements and stuff. So I'm going to try and see how much like the general student body knows, like what they've been feeling. But other than that, nothing much else. I'm happy to take any questions.
Anyone have any questions?
I have a super random one. I don't know if you'll know the answer, but if you go to donate blood, but then you actually have like a blood disorder, do they tell you?
They should, because I think all centers do like a little screening test before, so they check like hemoglobin and they check a couple of other things as well. So if you aren't eligible, then they'll let you know. But yeah.
We'll just move on to Aster as a question. Go ahead, Aster.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, get your flu shots. Don't be like me. Also, Zobia, I was just wondering, is a blood drive event like an event under you?
That is a really good question. Unfortunately not. I've actually got two kind of like student associations. So one of them is a dental student and one of them is the medical students. But there should be like a general, like if you want to donate for a team, there is apparently a student guild team. It's just not like, it looks like we haven't really like promoted that. And it's like constantly active. So it's not like it's gonna disappear. But even if you don't donate with a team, it's still good to donate just on yourself as well.
Okay, I'll go.
You guys
Sorry.
I was just wondering as well if you could like maybe link me up with them just because of the new thing of like where people can finally donate blood as well. And I think that it would be a good idea if like I like team up with them to promote the event as well.
That might actually be good. We'll probably have a look into that and we can do something about that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm just gonna move on to Morgan, who I think.
I will say last year, once the news came out about queer people being able to donate plasma, I did make a Curtin Guild blood drive team.
Okay.
There should have been, there was a collaboration post across, I think, all of the reps' Instagrams, if everybody clicked yes. And Asta has the login for that account.
Okay. Cool.
I hope.
So we'll probably just end up like promoting something similar to that, maybe.
Hey, do anyone have any more questions? No, move on to Faculty of Humanities.
Yeah, I'll take mine mostly as read. We continue to wait for that meeting with the education ministers, Tony Budi and Sabine West. That's in about 2 weeks regarding our push for a centralized placement system in WA. If there's anything that the members of Reps Board could do, is maybe just to help promote our NUS survey. We've set up a survey for education students across WA, but it's not gained a hell of a lot of traction. I did make a big push at my Growler Guild today to try and get people to sign that one, and that seemed to go well. But yeah, if anyone could promote that one to education students they know, that would be great.
Thank you.
I'll take any
Anyone have
questions.
any questions? No. Move on to Student Assist.
I'm happy to take my report as read, but I'm also happy to take questions.
Any questions? No. Move on to International Student. Oh, wait, okay, sorry. So okay, yeah.
You said that a total of 8 laptops were loaned out. Out of curiosity, how many laptops did the guild have to loan out?
Approximately 20.
Ooh, okay. Thank you.
No worries.
Move on to any more questions? No. Move on to International Students Committee President.
Yeah, I feel like a few things going around recently. I just wanted to share a few updates from the last few weeks. One of the biggest issues I think for the current international students right now is honestly finding a job in Perth. Last week, a student reached out to me and he said it's been 4 months. He still hasn't able to find a work. And after talking to him personally, I genuinely felt bad and I felt relatable as well to me when I first came in Perth. And I was very curious because he didn't know about the Cartoon Connect or the student assist or those sort of things, and he was completely unaware about the all the support system in the university. So I honestly also think that this kind of pressure is actually affecting in the academic stress as well, adding extra pressure as well for the international students. So, and also I had some informal conversation and random discussions with in the musalla, in the playing ground or soccer ground anywhere. And I have picked up some of the ideas and thoughts from them. It's the main issue is the awareness. They don't know actually where the support system and where all the things that they can go, if anything happens to them, even the emergency contact as well, they don't even know about them as well. So, and because of that, finding the job difficulties, they end up doing some illegal cash jobs that is completely illegal for the visa sort of thing. And recently some of the thing came up. I was going through some of the news that some of the students have been deported from Melbourne and Tasmania because of doing illegal cash jobs over a certain period of time, obviously. So yeah, I think that's why I've been focusing more on this sort of campaigns recently. And hopefully over the next few while, I can organize a few regular short events or small series sort of thing regarding relevant topics, obviously. And next Tuesday, there is an event coming up. Though my finger is crossed because it's exam period. So thinking how many students will turn up sort of thing. But I still need to go to the drawing board and think about a lot of things. And also I wanted to share about the recent migration awareness event. Even during a busy period, I think around 70 plus students rocked up. And the most important part was the students, their question were very specific and targeted. And I feel we can do some of the visa awareness events as well from my side, not with the PVC or something like that, from the field as well. But yeah, happy to take any question. And also lastly, Kalgoorlie was fun. Hope Dylan, Connie and Morgan loved my beef curry. Hope not. But yeah, and yeah, happy to take it.
Does anyone have any questions?
Not a question, but more of a are you aware of the Curtin Careers team?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I went to them once and just had a yarn with them and they are actually quite helpful.
Yeah, the next session with them actually, the next Tuesday. So yeah, they also helped me as well. Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions or comments? No. We'll move on to Queer Officer Aster, your report.
I'm gonna take my report as read. Feel free to ask questions.
Anyone have any questions for Aster or comments? Nope. Move on to Women's Officer, Sada.
I'm happy to take one mostly as read, but I guess something that I did just want to bring up was next week I'm holding a pretty big event on the 20th. And this is for the women in here, anyone who identifies as a woman. The event is kind of a public speaking competition where you speak for 4 to 6 minutes on topics relating to empowerment or anything at all. There's a $500 cash prize. So if you guys want to sign up, you can sign up. I just thought I should let you know because I have had other people guild counters and whatnot ask me if they can participate, and you guys can participate as well if you'd like, because the money's not the guilds, it belongs to Soroptimists. But yeah, and then so I've just been continuing communications with Soroptimist International. We've also for the first time, I believe we're holding the grand final in Curtin, which is really exciting. I think the prize is $1,000 or $2,000, something around there. So we'll have all the initial round winners from the unis across the Perth region come to Curtin and do the final round here, and that'll happen in June, July sometime. And then yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? No. Thanks, Sada. We'll move on to accessibility officers.
Yeah, I'll take my report as mostly read. I did my collaboration event, which went really well. It was really nice to see a lot of people. We had quite a few people from Murdoch who were there, and it was really nice to see. It was nice to see, I mean, more people with disability around, but it was also really clear that we have a lot of the same issues surrounding staff and the physical accessibility of all the campuses. Which is something that we're hopefully going to try and work to improve. Yeah, that's about it. If any questions, I can answer them.
Any questions? No. We'll move on to higher education development.
Oh, it's submitted.
Oh, submitted. Okay, that's it. Move on to ethnocultural officer.
Yeah, I'll take my report for assessment as well. It's just the project that I'm working on, like the training model that I'm trying to write out. I've been looking at sources online about how different organizations provide their training, and a lot of it is reading like quite poor quality. A lot of it kind of reads like AI. And so it's kind of been slow going, trying to find resources about stuff that I can base what I want on. So a lot of it has to kind of just taking bits and pieces from all over the place and then putting it together and then changing it to fit in a format where it works for Purdue University, for us essentially. So yeah, it's slow going, but I have hopes that I'll be able to have something concrete done by the end of the year.
Anyone have any questions? I just have a question actually. Beyond the creating the framework, which I think would be quite valuable, do you have any plans for any like advocacy or initiatives or support outcomes you plan on like delivering for like ethnocultural students on campus? Just out of curiosity about like your plans for the rest of the year,
Yeah,
or the semester.
Yeah. So I think a lot of my plans, like I've been working on stuff in the background, and I'm hoping a lot of it will kind of flow together. I'm hoping by O-Day Sem 2, I'll have a lot of stuff that I can announce at O-Day. A lot of this has to do with kind of getting people in the collective together to meet as well, but also events which working on it. As for advocacy campaigns, a lot of that I'm still not quite sure on who in the university I need to reach out to for, I guess, to see if there's support within the university for any work that I might do, because like this is a new role, it's not really established like who the university contacts are. So I've been trying to go through the staff list and like figuring out who I need to contact essentially. But I do have some plans, especially around a lot of the stuff is like around a lot of the domestic policies that comes on the news. A lot of it's quite rapidly changing. We've recently had the by-election in New South Wales where One Nation won a federal seat, and I have gotten some Instagram DMs about the political kind of state of this country. So I guess there's probably something that I can do there as well. A lot of it is kind of floating.
I know there are a lot of really well-established ethnocultural collectives around the country and like state. So I think it would be also good.
Yeah, mostly
just a thought to reach out to them. Yeah, even very forbidden name, but they have a quite active one. So even yeah, just a thought. But thank you. Any more questions or comments? No. We'll move on to First Nations officer.
I will not take my report as read because I submitted it late, but pretty much I've updated the First Nations flyers because they were fairly outdated. And in regards to the cultural awareness sessions, discussions are underway with Curtin's cultural capability team, like about delivering cultural awareness sessions for the guild. The topics that will be included are Aboriginal history and ongoing impacts of colonisation, understanding cultural safety within student-facing environments, appropriate communication and engagement with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students and staff, recognising unconscious bias and barriers faced by First Nations students, ways staff can create more inclusive, respectful and culturally responsive spaces, and guidance on allyship, advocacy and meaningful support strategies. So I actually met with them today, and the idea is that we will split those sessions by the department. So it'd be the guild, so those of us who are here, and those on, oh sorry, I was like those online, and I was like, did you just, but ASTA as well, and then the commercial side or professional side of the department. But I do need clarity on dates of availability, and I'm happy to send out a survey asking when's best available for everyone. And I have a query. I would appreciate if the attendance was heavily encouraged or mandated by the Guild. I don't know if I need to write a motion to have it like a mandatory attendance. But if I do, like, let me know and I'll draw up a motion. And then outside of that, I engaged with the Wailech Foundation to do with supports around our students, like our mob, and query if they ran cultural awareness sessions. That was prior to the capabilities team getting back to me. And then I'm meeting with the NUS First Nations officer to discuss NAIDOC and Sorry Day, which I'm not sure if you're aware, Sorry Day is coming up. I'm pretty sure it's May 26th. And also met with the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Indigenous. Don't know why it's titled like that, and that was really good. And I've also just changed my cultural safety survey in classrooms to Indigenous representation, perspectives and voices within department unit curriculums, because I feel that it's better focused on whether our students feel that there's Aboriginal perspectives embedded into the curriculum, and that will capture how effectively Curtin is creating culturally inclusive learning environments and whether Aboriginal knowledge is represented respectfully or just tokenistically. And then I will use that data and work with Professor Jonathan, Kaz, the culture capability team, and others to address the outcomes. Felt like Eminem. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Yep.
I just found the mandating up front, if you write something up to me, we can see what we can do through Guild exec. I would imagine that a large portion of staff would be willing to voluntarily come along regardless, and I'd hope so. But we can certainly see what we can do on the HR front. But certainly from a student rep perspective, I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to punish people if they don't necessarily come, but we can certainly heavily encourage it. Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else? No. I'll move on to the motion that the representation board notes the reports. Can I get a mover, please? Connie, thank you. A seconder. Tom, again. All those in favor? All those against? No, I'll take that motion as carried. Move on to item 9, items for discussion and resolution. NDIS funding cuts. It's the motion that the representation board recognizes the importance of National Disability Insurance Scheme, support the prosecution of people defrauding the NDIS, and support the No NDIS Cuts petition. Moved by Mia, seconded by Morgan. Would you like to speak to your motion?
Yeah, I'd like to speak to my motion. As I'm sure many of you have seen, the budget was recently announced, and the biggest cost-saving measure in this budget is cuts to the NDIS. It feels quite targeted, I guess, in a way. It's difficult to wrap your head around the fact that one group is responsible for the cost-saving measures in this budget. This is unfortunately, it's not something that's new. There are a lot of people who are on the NDIS. There were budget cuts also in 2024, which reduced people's access to the scheme. People are just upset, and yeah, it's difficult for a lot of people. Okay, so I just want to, I know the wording around this is quite confusing because the NDIS itself is quite complicated. It's been around for over 10 years and it has very specific language. One thing I do want to clarify is that when I say NDS providers, these are service providers. So these are the people who are working to provide the services to the people with disabilities, is not the people with the disabilities. People with the disabilities are the participants. So that's a differentiation. That's particularly important with action item number 3, which is about ensuring that providers who are acting illegally are prosecuted. This is not the participants in the scheme. It's not people with the disabilities, it's people providing the services. So that's definitely something to note. The other thing is this is ever changing. There's updates to this constantly. There was updates today about what's happening because, I mean, the motion hasn't gone to Parliament yet. So I don't really know what a lot of this entails. So as I'm sure a lot of you have seen, they're cutting 160,000 participants from the scheme, mainly through Thriving Kids. This is 20% of the people on the scheme. I think it's also really important to note that as a university, we are responsible for young people, and based on like the numbers, 61.5% of the people on the NDIS are under the age of 24 and 52% are under the age of 18. So they are cutting supports from children, quite literally. And so that's really hard. These are children, they don't have the opportunity to vote. They don't there's no way that they can talk for themselves, defend themselves. The other thing is a lot of the Thriving Kids is for children under the age of 9. That's a 3rd grader. If you think about where you were when you were in 3rd grade, you didn't know much about the world. I couldn't even tell you who was in power then. So that's the oldest of the people who are getting cut, supposedly. Due to the growth, we're not actually cutting 160,000 people. We're going to end up having to cut around 300,000 people, which is almost half of the amount of people on there at the moment. The other thing I think is also really important to note is, based on last statistics, there were 5.5 million Australians who have a disability, and the NDIS make up 14% of that. This is not the majority of people who are on this scheme that have a disability. This is a very select, this is a minority of people who have severe disabilities that impact their lives that are on this scheme. The other thing is participants, they receive funding, but they do not actually get their hands on any money. They get allocated funding, which is then the providers then invoice to the NDIS. So this money isn't going in their bank accounts. So it's not really something that they can take unnecessarily. The other thing as well is that it takes about 3 to 6 months to get onto the NDIS, and often that's thousands of dollars because you need to go to doctors, you need to get diagnosis, you need to get them to write up all the forms. And so a lot of people just give up and don't even go through the whole process. A lot of people, I know a lot of people that have disabilities that, based on my understanding, should be on the NDIS, but they got rejected once and it's too much energy for them to try again. The NDIS is different than the ACROB permits. So there are people who have ACROB permits, which you have to not be able to walk more than 100 meters. That does not automatically classify you into the NDIS. There is also several ways to appeal the decisions, both internally and externally. The external one is through the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, which is through a court. This can take several years, at least 2 years generally. And 90% of those cases that go to the AAT are in the participant's favour in the end. And they spend a lot of money trying to prevent that from happening. Yes, so this decision is specifically targeting people with autism, generally speaking. So the autism diagnosis criteria is complicated. There's essentially level 1 to level 3, and it's from low to extremely high support needs. And it's very hard to see the definitive lines between what is what. There's also the idea that as somebody is able to more effectively communicate as they get older, they can go down levels, which is just kind of confusing. Typically speaking, as far as I'm aware, level 3 is people who are unable to speak and they use kind of like AAC, so like alternative communications. It's like a tablet and you have like buttons that you can click. You'll see them like doing repetitive soothing motions like constantly. Level 2 is people who can speak, but they can speak like less, so they can speak like sentences, some words depending on like their age. They will often like move away from conversations, not really just like understanding their social cues. And level 1 isn't on the NDIS currently. So it's just level 2 and level 3. And those are the people that they're planning on removing. Specifically, mainly level 2. Yeah. So they're removing 160,000 people. The people who are under the age of 9, which is where the majority of the autism is, so it's about 43% total of the NDIS who have their primary diagnosis as autism. It doesn't mean it's their only diagnosis, it just means it's their primary diagnosis. And then under the age of 9, it's about 78% who have their primary diagnosis of autism. So there are less than 160,000 participants who are under the age of 9. Slightly less, but like still less. So if they're planning on moving 160,000 participants off, that would mean at least every single person under the age of 9 with any kind of disability, because there's still like the 20% that don't have autism as their primary diagnosis, or they're moving off adults or people over the age of 9. But the only programs that have been set up are Thriving Kids, which is for children who are under the age of 9. So where are these people going? Where are their supports going? There's also no information about what Thriving Kids is going to look like. It has significantly less funding. And yeah, no one's really being told what this program is meant to look like. Yeah. One thing that they aren't discussing is the lack of provider registration. 6% of all providers are registered. Registration is not required. These people are working with vulnerable people, and registration should be required. This is kind of controversial in the disability world, because the problem is that people who have their registration provided are registered are generally the large organizations, and they have a lot of issues in terms of ensuring that people are respectfully cared for, using appropriate language, just not being abused, generally speaking. So a lot of participants choose to go through unregistered providers who work for themselves in order to get the care that they feel like they adequately deserve. Yeah.
Is there a reason why small organizations don't go through registration? Like, is it like a cost thing or?
Cost and time.
Cost and time, okay.
Both.
Okay, I'll move to questions. Does anyone have any questions? Or comments?
This is comments, nothing.
We'll move to a vote if that's everything. Again, the motion recognizes the importance of the National Disability Insurance Scheme, supports the prosecution of people defrauding the NDIS, and supports the No NDIS Cuts petition. All in favor? All those against? Do you want to send, you're gonna have to send that amendment through to Noor.
Yes.
And then we'll do a circular on that.
Right, it's literally just it, because it says the Queensland government has refused to join the scheme. They joined it. So it's just like one sentence in the end of it.
Is it in the motion or is it?
I know it's in the background.
It's a background.
Oh, that can be
You can
changed.
still pass the motion.
Okay.
All good. Yep, I'll take that as passed. We'll move on to general business. Does anyone have anything they'd like to discuss in general business? No. No. Okay. Meeting evaluation. Morgan.
As one was good. There was lots of, it was a very succinct meeting, which I appreciate today because I'm tired. But there was also lots of discussion as well around things like the uni merger, cultural awareness and education, lots of talk into support for students on assignments and assignment timetables, lots looking into disability and how we can support students, especially with the NDIS cards. But yeah, all round good.
Thanks, Morgan. That was riveting.
Yeah.
Move on to our next meeting. Notice that the next ordinary meeting of the Representation Board will be held on the 18th of June at 5:30 in Council Chambers, which is now 410208, which is this room. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
So we're going to done the meeting evaluation.
Awesome
How do I
meeting,
stop it?
guys.
I like this room so much better than council.
It's